And happy hump day, friends and family. A Wednesday edition of Bets with the squad all here. I'm Tyler Fulghum. She is Anita Marks, and we're going to be rocking and rolling over the next 30 minutes. Got a lot to discuss. Hey, our boy Baker Mayfield's got a new team in the NFL. We'll dive into that, Anita. We're also going to welcome some friends like Tim Bontemps and Andre Snellings to break down the NBA Summer League and Wimbledon. Diamond Dollars, Anita, getting back on track last week. Can't wait to share that. So it's all in store over the next 30 minutes. Anita, are you ready to make some money? Get mama a new pair of shoes tonight.
I am Max Scherzer, 11 strikeouts ready for today's show, Tyler. Let's go, baby.
Dude, Scherzer was dominant coming back. Absolute stud. So I'm expecting a Scherzer-esque performance from you today, my friend. A reminder before we officially kick it off, though, our YouTube channel is the best place to go for you as a fan of us and to get our wagering analysis and content. YouTube.com/ESPN Sports Betting. This show lives there, and content from all kinds of shows goes there for your convenience. So go subscribe if you haven't already done so. Let's get it started by flexing our prolific vocabularies. It is time for the good word, and we start, Anita, in the National Football League because some news popped up today that has some ripple effects around the National Football League. Baker Mayfield officially moving from Cleveland to Carolina, and Carolina's division odds in the NFC South dropped just a little bit from 12-1 to 11-1. So what's your good word for that move in the odds market now that Baker is there with Sam Darnold in Carolina?
Yeah, I'm going to go meow as opposed to a big roar for the Panthers. Listen, I love that Baker now has found a team, but man, going up against the Bucs, going up against the Saints in that division, I think the play here, I'm really intrigued by week one. He's in Carolina going up against his former team, the Cleveland Browns, and potentially, we don't know, still waiting on the word with what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. Maybe Jacoby Brissett would be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And that's a team now, Carolina, with Baker Mayfield at home, favored by 1. I'm all over that. Also, I like the win total over 6.5. You know, I've got them going 2-4 in their division. And then look at who they've got. The Giants, the 49ers, who, again, I'm expecting Trey Lance to be the starting quarterback. No bueno. Seattle, the Lions. So that's 6 right there. There's a lot of parity in the NFL. We know injuries are going to happen. So I'm going over 6.5. This is a must-win year from Matt Rule, okay? Ben McAdoo is the offensive coordinator. Now, I know he was horrible as a head coach here in New York with the Giants, but he's a really solid offensive coordinator. You got Christian McCaffrey in that backfield. They improved the offensive line. DJ Moore is a top 15 wide receiver in the NFL. So that's how I would play. That's how I would play this move for Baker Mayfield.
What do you think of my cat that I added there, Anita? It's, I think, pretty good for my drawing capabilities, which are about that of a first grader. I could spell thank you. Meow. I like the meow. All right, sorry, the kitty cat's got to go, and I got to write my word, which is impact. And I think you see kind of the impact we can expect going from potentially, we'll see if there's competition, but going from Sam Darnold to Baker Mayfield. It's reflected right there in the price in the NFC South. It didn't really move much. Baker, I don't think, is going to have that much of an impact on this Carolina team. I thought they were anywhere from a 5 to 7, maybe 8-win team with Sam Darnold and or the rookie they drafted out of Ole Miss, Matt Corral. I think they're anywhere from about a 5, 6 to 8-win team with Baker Mayfield. I just don't think he brings the impact at the quarterback position from game to game, from play to play, to elevate this team to a new echelon going from Darnold to Mayfield. So maybe I'm wrong because I do think Mayfield's ceiling is higher than Darnold. We've seen it in Cleveland at times. He's played better in spurts with the ceiling, but the floor is about the same. And I just don't know if we're going to get that ceiling from Baker Mayfield. That's why the impact for me is minimal with this big move in the NFL. All right, let's move to the diamond, where The Yankees, of course, the best team in Major League Baseball right now. The Dodgers, a preseason favorite to win the World Series, and they are cooking in the NL West, leading that division. The Yankees to defeat the Dodgers in the World Series is a 12-1 proposition. That exacta, so to speak, is a 12-1 proposition. What's your good word for the Yankees over Dodgers at 12-1 in the Fall Classic?
Maybe I'll dabble on that wager, and here's why I'm a little bit reluctant. That's because this Yankees rotation has not been great as of late. We saw Teon, what happened against his former team last night. I mean, the Yankees lost to the Pirates last night 5-2. I mean, come on. The lineup struggles against strong right-handed pitchers, and you've got Houston in that American League that the Yankees are going to have to go to. And don't sleep on the Mets. And Scherzer, and they get DeGrom back soon. Not sure if the Dodgers are going to be in the World Series. So I'm going to dabble.
Okay. Yeah, I look at it as kind of an unoriginal proposition. Not that it's, unoriginal that these two would match up because they haven't seen each other in the World Series in quite some time. But it's unoriginal that they're the preseason favorite, the Dodgers, and the current favorite right now. Like, what kind of bet is that? I'm not going to look for that bet. I'm going to try and find something that's a much better ROI, 25, 30-1. Maybe it's my Cardinals sneaking in against the Astros. Maybe it's the White Sox getting hot or the Red Sox or the Rays. But I'm not doing this unoriginal exacta in the Fall Classic. It bores me at 12-1, even though both teams are quite legit. All right, let's move to the NBA Summer League because certainly not boring in any way, shape, or form was the debut of Chet Holmgren for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Summer League last night. 23 points, made 4 triples, 6 blocks. We know that's part of his game. We saw it at Gonzaga. He is now plus 375 to win the NBA Rookie of the Year. What is your good word for that futures bet?
Detroit. Because as great as that 7-footer is, let's not put too much weight into the Summer League. I mean, Kevin Knox looked like KD, and look, he's not even with the Knicks anymore. I like Ivy with the Detroit Pistons this season alongside Cunningham. Cade, I think, is going to demand a lot of defense. He's going to dish it out, and now with Grant gone, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for Ivy. So if I'm putting money down on a rookie this season, it's Ivy. I can't wait to see what he's going to do on that Pistons court.
Yeah, Ivy is definitely a stud. I see why you like Detroit. They had Cade Cunningham there who is going to make a big leap, I think, this year. I'm just going to make it very simple for me. The word is game, as in Chet's got the game to win this award. I don't love the price, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if he ends up as the Rookie of the Year, playing alongside Josh Giddey, Pokashevsky, 7-footer who is going to knock down 100, couple hundred threes and block 100, 150, maybe 200 shots this year with his length. He is going to be hard to beat in this market. Again, I'm not sure I love the price because there are a lot of great rookies in this class, but man, he has absolutely the game to win NBA Rookie of the Year. Duh. That's why OKC took him number 2 in the lottery this year in what was a pretty gosh darn good draft lottery class. While we're talking NBA in the Summer League, let's welcome in our buddy right now. It is Tim Bontemps joining the party here. And Timmy, I tell you what, a huge night and a huge debut in the Summer League. It doesn't count for anything, but at least piques our interest. 23 points, the 4 triples, the 6 blocks. Tonight, the OKC Thunder take on the other team that has a victory in Salt Lake City. That's the Memphis Grizzlies. It's OKC, though, that is a 3-point favorite, total of 176.5. What's been the buzz on Chet's performance from last night, and is there anything you like to wager for tonight's game with OKC?
I mean, I'm pretty hesitant, Tyler, to bet anything on Summer League games, but I do like Oklahoma City to win that game. If I'm betting one way or the other, if you're trying to get some juice and some action on the game, I would bet Oklahoma City to win personally. As for Chet Holmgren, you saw in that game yesterday against Utah all of the things that made the Thunder so excited to get him with that number 2 overall pick. Chet Holmgren's a guy who can handle the ball, 7 foot 2 inches tall. He can protect the rim very well despite his size. You know, he's got a slender frame, but he's a really athletic kid, really smart positional defender, knows how to use his length to make up for his lack of strength, to be able to contest shots still. Had 6 blocks in that game, showed his 3-point shooting touch, hitting those 4 threes, as you mentioned. And look, I think he's got a chance to be a really special player. I think he's going to be the best player in this class, presuming health. I, however, do not think he'll win Rookie of the Year. My pick would be Paolo Banchero. the #1 overall pick. I think on an Orlando Magic team that doesn't have a lot of offensive options, he's going to have the ball in his hands all the time. I think he's going to put up a ton of scoring numbers. You look at that Oklahoma City team, Tyler, they've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they've got Josh Giddey, and I think as we get into the season, I think you're going to see Chet Holmgren sort of fall into more of an Al Horford kind of game where he's going to maybe average 13, 14 points, 7, 8 rebounds, a block or two a game, maybe a couple assists. He'll have some production across the board, whereas I think Paolo could have a similar line to maybe Tyreke Evans, who, by the way, won Rookie of the Year in a class with James Harden and Stephen Curry. So winning Rookie of the Year doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the best player long term, but in that class, Paolo had 25 and 5, or Tyreke Evans should say had 25 and 5 for the season. Would not shock me if Paolo Banchero is somewhere in that kind of range. He would be my bet if I'm looking at it right now for Rookie of the Year.
All right, Tim, so your team, the 76ers, favored by 6.5 tonight. The over-under is 169.5 against the Jazz. But no rookies to really keep our eye on. What are the second-year players that you think the front office is keeping a keen eye on to see how they're going to perform tonight?
Well, similar to the first game, I'm pretty low to bet on Summer League games, but the Sixers have the better, deeper team in terms of NBA talent. I would bet them if I'm picking a team here. But you mentioned there's no rookies in this team to look at, but they do have a bunch of second-year guys. And the guys, if you're looking for to see who they're going to be impact players next year or have potential to have an impact next year, are Paul Reed, Charles Bassey, and Jaden Springer. Paul Reed, as you guys saw in the playoffs, was the backup center behind Joel Embiid. I think he's pretty clearly got an inside track to that spot this year, and he's certainly a guy who's put up huge numbers in the G League. He's got a potential to be a pretty active, mobile big behind Joel Embiid, gives the Sixers a little bit different look. But Charles Bassey barely played at all last year. He's a very young kid, but he is super long, athletic, and he's sort of got the potential to sort of be the next kind of rim-running, big, long, 7-foot center you see teams try to go to throughout the league. He's a guy that reminds me a little bit of DeAndre Jordan, who was obviously in Philly for a while last year. DeAndre, early in his career coming out of Texas A&M, did not play very much and steadily grew into an impact player. Bassey, if you're trying to really project high on him, he's got a chance to be that kind of guy long term. And then Jaden Springer is a really athletic guard, and if you look at this Sixers rotation, they've got James Harden, obviously. They've got Tyrese Maxey. And then they've got some question marks after that beyond DeAnthony Melton, who they traded for at the draft. I think if Jaden Springer takes a leap, he's got a chance to be a pesky defender. Could slot in nicely next to either Maxey and Harden in limited minutes. So not a lot of huge excitement for the Sixers, but certainly a couple guys, if you're looking forward to next year, that could be a little bit of, smaller impact contributors off the bench for the Sixers going forward.
Tim Bontemps, as always, bringing it. Love the background there with that abstract painting. And here's the best news for our viewers out there. Timmy B going to be right by my side here in studio in Vegas Monday as he comes here for the Vegas Summer League. So cannot wait to see you after the weekend, Timmy B. Great stuff on this show. Have a great weekend. We'll see you here in Vegas on Monday, my friend.
Appreciate it, Ty. Look forward to seeing you, man. Take care.
Indeed, we will. But we go from one of our favorites to yet another one of our favorites. It is Andre Snellings, from the hard court or hardwood of the NBA Summer League to the grass courts of the All England Club and Wimbledon. And Dre, I got to tip my cap to you and Bear. Earlier last week, you guys talked about the guys or the two women that you liked on that side of the draw to make it through, and both are still alive in the semis. You specifically mentioned Ons Jabeur, who has a matchup against Tatiana Maria, who is a great story in her own right. Mother of two, age 34, made it to the semis. Ons Jabeur, the better player, younger, more athletic. That's why she's a big -$8 favorite. I'm not sure that's the way you want to bet this heavy favorite, but you do like Ons Jabeur, I imagine. So what way will you approach attacking a wager in this semifinal matchup on the women's draw?
Definitely. I've been riding with Jabeur since before it began, so I'm going Jabeur -5.5 games. That's a pretty big matchup. That's essentially assuming straight sets, 6-3, 6-3 or better. But I think that she, as you mentioned, she's the better player, and both players have a similar nerve situation. Neither has been on this stage before. So I expect the talent to play through. And Jabeur, much like a player we're going to mention in a few minutes, Simona Halep, has just looked a step better than the other players in the field. So I expect her to get through fairly comfortably.
Well, Bears pick is Simona Halep. And she is favored by -310. Might be a little bit too much juice for some folks. Also, two pretty significant favorites. So with that being said, how are you playing Simona?
As much as I picked Jabeur, Simona Halep has been the most impressive player in this tournament so far. So I'm expecting her to win. She's got a little bit tougher competition than Rybakina, but I think that Halep is she looks like she's on a mission. She won the last time she was in this field in 2019, and she's playing at that level right now. So I'm also going her minus 4.5 games, or Halep also in straight sets. Both of those have better juice than just straight up, and I think that she should be able to cover no matter which one you pick.
All right, let's move to the men's side of the draw. Novak Djokovic got a little bit of the scare before he got into the semifinals with the Brit Cam Norrie, who will have, I imagine, a few fans there. But Joker, of course, in this matchup, a minus $14 favorite. That, of course, is not something we would urge anyone to ever lay. Would you play a straight set victory instead to try and get a better price on the men's favorite?
I would play straight sets for Joker because even though he was tested in the last round, there was never any doubt. He straight up, when he was down 2-0, both players knew that he was probably going to win. But there's no juice there. So for him, I would pick straight sets at minus 190. I would also pick Joker minus 7.5 games. Even last match, going 5 sets, he still won by 5 games. I don't expect this one to go that long. I think that the Joker wins comfortably. So I'll take him minus 7.5 games or Joker in straight sets.
As we know, Nadal just took care of American Fritz in 5 sets, but injured his abdomen. So now he's going in against Kyrgios. Just out of curiosity, that injury, does it scare you a little bit? Nadal banged up. How are you going to play this one?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Kyrgios, if he's focused and had his head in the game, he might be favored over Nadal anyway. Kyrgios is very arguably the most talented player on the tour. And he seems to have held it together through 2 weeks so far. So with Nadal being a little bit ouchy, I definitely would favor Kyrgios in this match. Nadal is a champion's champion. You never give up on him. But as far as objective betting goes, I think that Kyrgios has to be the more likely to win this matchup, again, if he's able to keep focused.
Yeah, like Rafa Nadal, our guy Andre Snellings, I don't care if he's at a Walgreens or a CVS or a Target, wherever he's at, he's always ready to play and join us here on Bet. We appreciate you dropping by. Talk some Wimbledon there, Dre.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, Anita, let's keep it going here on Bet. Good stuff from Dre, good stuff from Tim Bontemps in Wimbledon and the NBA Summer League. But, football is still king around here. And even though we are now in July, inching closer to the start of the season, still a long ways away from the kickoffs. Never too far away, though, to dive into some season outlooks with these teams here in the National Football League. So, on deck today, let's look at the Denver Broncos in the AFC West. Of course, the biggest news is that they got a new quarterback. It's not just the Carolina Panthers. Russell Wilson moving from Seattle to Denver. Lo and behold, those two teams match up in week 1. Surprise, surprise, in Seattle. New coach as well, Nathaniel Hackett. You see the markets you can bet in the futures there at Caesars. Win total, make miss playoffs, division win title, Wilson for MVP, etc., etc. Just from a macro perspective here a few months out, how are you approaching this Denver team, and what is a loaded AFC West? Are there any of those future bets that you like right now that you want to take to the window?
Absolutely. And I was told to play one, and that is to make the playoffs at minus 160. Avoid to win the Super Bowl at 16-1. I just don't think they're ready, and they're in a really competitive division. And wait to win the division at plus 250 because I think these odds are going to get better again because of their division. You mentioned Russell Wilson. He's fantastic. He's playing now behind a better offensive line. His offensive line in Seattle was 32nd, dead last in the NFL. Now he's playing behind an offensive line that is 16th. Of course, he's got a 2-man attack in the backfield to rush the football, a solid wide receiving core. I love this coaching staff. Their schedule is very favorable. So that is how I'm playing the Denver Broncos this year.
I see it very similarly as you. I don't love any of these futures markets, but I am 1,000% sure that the Denver Broncos are a much better team than they were a season ago, and that they are a legitimate threat to win that division and be dangerous in the AFC playoffs. Again, I don't love the price, but yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs because I think they're going to be about 10, 11 wins this season. That's why I'm like, okay, if you force me, I'll go over 10. I mean, if an injury happens, then maybe the under hits there, but there's a lot of talent on this team. I still think the Chargers are the best in the AFC West. That's why I don't necessarily love them to win that division. But in my full fade of Kansas City, if you play Chargers at plus 250 and Denver at plus 250, and either one of those hits, you're coming out ahead with a profit because you can't discount Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. But my analysis is this in the AFC West. Every single team got better and added elite talent, elite level, Hall of Fame level talent. The only team that did not is Kansas City. They, in fact, lost Hall of Fame talent with Tyreek Hill going out the door. So I would never disrespect Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but I mean, I can't ignore the fact that everyone else in that division added significant talent. So I think it's one step back this year for KC, where Denver and LA fill that spot. Specific to Denver, I see them more as, again, 10-7, maybe 11-6, the wild card team or second wild card team behind division-winning LA Chargers. I do think Russell Wilson will have a good year. If they win the division, maybe he can cash that MVP ticket with the narrative that he never got one in Seattle. I don't love Nathaniel Hackett at 15-1 for Coach of the Year because I think more of the attention will go to Russ if they have a great season. So, bottom line, I don't love betting this team is basically my point here. I'll play them week by week, and yes, I like them to cover in Seattle week 1. But in the futures market, there's nothing that really attracts me. But they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a playoff team in the AFC West and going to be dangerous for the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Oakland Raiders, everyone on their division with Russ in tow. All right. Quick look at what we saw there with the Denver, or what we will see, pardon me, with the Denver Broncos. Let's move now to the diamond because it is time for some dollars. Good performance last week from Anita. Anita making up. She started that day with a bevy of bets you see there. I think she started under $100 and ended up well over $100, $95 and some change. So you made about $30 with all your wagers. Great stuff. I think dropped 6 cents or something like that. Bottom line, I had a winner with the alt run line. Cardinals, Marlins, under 6.5 runs. It was 3-2 Cardinals, top of the ninth, 2 out. Their closer on, who had a 0.3 ERA, and he gives up a 2-run shot. It goes over. But Wilson Contreras did hit a dinger, so I cast that long ball, long shot. I was about even, lost a few bucks. That's neither here nor there. We're still doing good. Both well over 100, our starting point. Diamond dollar plays for Wednesday night slate. Anita, what you got?
All right, buckle up. It's a lot again, Tyler. Let's start with the Mets. I like the Mets. I like the Mets on the run line. I also like Escobar to hit a home run and an RBI. Peterson is back on the bump. He's a new daddy. You know he's going to be playing with a little extra juice. 3.24 ERA. Also, Ashcraft pitching on the opposite side. He's given up a home run in each of his last 4 games. Ohtani, man, this is a winner for me. Over strikeouts, dude's been dealing. By the way, yesterday was his birthday, so you know he wants a good outing tonight. Give me the Yankees on the run line. They got embarrassed by the Pirates yesterday. They're going to come out. Also, over in 5.5 runs. They're going to knock the cover off the ball because, again, they were in Paris yesterday. Atlanta and the Cards. Give me the under here. 2 great pitchers. Give me Arizona on the money line as well. Kelly gets the win. And give me CJ Cron with an RBI. He's got 9 RBIs in his last 3 games. 65 on the season. So, plethora of Major League Baseball plays for you tonight.
That's the way that Anita Marks likes to do it. A plethora of plays on the diamond. Great job last week. I'm kind of stealing some of your mojo here, Anita, because I think this is a record for me. I have 3 plays, and one of the plays is a 3-leg parlay. Cardinals, Braves, you like the under in that pitching matchup. I like Cards on the money line because of that return on investment, and they're taking on a lefty and Max Fried. Cardinals, one of the top 5 offenses in average and OPS against left-handed pitching. Fried is good, but so is Miles Michaelis on the other side. I think it is a low-scoring game. The Cardinals dropped the first 2. They need this one desperately, and I like that price at plus 143. You and I both on Shohei Ohtani. He's had 24 strikeouts. His last 2 starts combined, 36.3% K rate. His last 4 starts, Miami is bottom 3rd in the or all of Major League Baseball, I should say, in K rate. They will swing and miss, and Shohei is cooking with some good stuff right now. He's allowed 1 earned run in his last 4 outings. His ERA is like 0.35. Dude is absolutely on fire. And then that same game parlay, Aaron Nola taking on the Washington Nationals, who got blanked last night by Philadelphia Philly pitching. Nola's obviously the best they have. I like Nola to earn the victory, record over 20.5 outs, and strike out over 6.5 batters. So 7 Ks, 7 innings, and a win is what we need from Nola. His last start against Washington on June 18th, 8 innings, no runs, 8 Ks. Did not get the win, though. His offense didn't help him out. I need the offense to show up here for this one. But if we clash that 3-leg parlay with Aaron Nola, a nice plus 282 a payout there, which I'm wagering just $10. So diamond dollars. Anita's starting to rub off on me. All right, technically 5 plays for me, 1 same-game parlay with 3 legs and a couple other. And, of course, Anita had a zillion. All right, Anita, let's move to the greens and the links of the Scottish Open. You know we like to talk golf here, and you got a match play event coming up tomorrow, so let's zip through the Scottish Open, the preview, the prelude to the Open Championship next week. You got 3 plays. It's par 3. Fire away for the Scottish Open.
I do, and this is where I've been winning my money this season. It's so hard to pick a winner each and every week. So I've got 3 dudes that I think are going to finish in the top 20. One is Ryan Fox. He's top on the DP World Tour. He's at the top of the leaderboard each and every week. He ranks 3rd in strokes gained on approach. Give me Keith Mitchell. Folks might not be aware of this. Spent a lot of time growing up over there on the opposite side of the pond. His sister went to school there. His dad's a member of St. Andrews. So he knows these Scotland courses extremely well. And Jordan Smith, again, not a household name here in the States, but one of the best ball strikers over there in Europe. And he finished, really looked great in Ireland last week, plus 8 strokes gained on approach. So all 3 of those cats to finish in the top 20.
Yeah, I like that. You have a Euro lean there. Really only Keith Mitchell, the primary American who plays on the PGA Tour there. Smart analysis, as always, from Anita on the links. I got a par 3 play that starts like this. Brian Harman. He's an American, small, short lefty. Distance is not necessary on a links course. The ball will roll. It's how you finesse it off the tee, how you do on the greens. We know Harman can putt. We know he's accurate off the tee. And he skipped the John Deere Classic last week to get over and prepare for this event and the Open Championship. He wants to show well here. The last time we saw him at the Travelers, he finished 8th. So top 20 at plus 350. I like the little lefty Brian Harman. Lucas Herbert is the next name I want to mention to finish inside the top 10 at 6-1. Herbert, another guy who primarily plays on the DP World Tour. He is a horse for this course. Played here at this course 3 times. He's made the cut all 3 times, and he has back-to-back 4th-place finishes in 2021 and 2020. He's also coming off a 9th-place finish last week at the Irish Open. Good form recently, good form in history at this course, and he's one of the best putters in the world. In fact, he's #1 in strokes gained putting over the last 6 months of all golfers in this field. The dude can roll it. And finally, my winner. I'm going to try and find a winner here, and I think I got a good price on Victor Hovland. 35-1, and I know Hovland is not necessarily in great form, but he is way too talented to be priced at 35-1. We know Hovland's strengths: ball striking, driving, and scoring. He is not good with his short game around the green, but on a links course, that is not really necessary. You got wide open, very large greens to hit, and you just got to get the ball deep off the tee and relatively in play. There's not much to penalize you outside of bunkers on this type of course. So Hovland's weaknesses are diminished and his strengths are accented in this style of play. There's 4 par 5s. There's 5 par 3s on the course. I think Hovland can go low like many of the winners had. You got to get to 16, 17, 18, maybe even 20 under if the wind is not acting up. And Hovland certainly has the game to do it. I just think his price is one we want to attack at 35-1. So, some good par 3 plays there. You got something you want to add to it, Anita?
Yeah. I do. I think a little bottle of wine wager. I'll take Spieth to win. He plays great overseas. He loves link-style courses, and he's magnificent on slower greens. And that's what you're going to see the next 2 weeks over there in Scotland. So I have Spieth. You have Hovland. Whoever finishes better gets a bottle of wine.
All right. We can, of course, wager a bottle of wine. You love to drink it. I love to drink it. No matter who wins, we both win when we share a glass together. Great stuff, Anita. Thanks to Andre Snellings and Tim Bontemps for stopping by as well. We are off on Friday. See you Monday on Bet. Got it right this time. We're off on Friday.